Hey there and welcome. It's Christina Johnson here, transformational nutrition coach, founder of the Emerge Weight Loss Method. And today's video and topic is going to be really helpful for you if you have for a while now been wanting to eat healthier, to lose weight, to exercise more, but it seems like there's a part of you that just hasn't felt motivated to get started. You have kind of been stuck, there's some resistance, and you just haven't started making changes yet. This is a really common position to be in because changing how you eat, changing your habits, changing your lifestyle is a big deal. And so, for a lot of people, you really want to feel better and to lose weight and to make changes, but it can feel really hard. And so you just don't feel motivated to get started. And so my goal today is to help you figure out what's going on. And so I'm going to go over 5 different reasons why you might be feeling unmotivated or kind of feeling stuck or having some resistance. And what I want you to do as I go through these 5 reasons is to just stop and think after each one if it applies to you or not. So like I said, I've got 5 different reasons that I'm going to go over, and most likely they don't all apply to you. There's probably 2 or 3 that will apply the most. So if you're even watching this on the recording, after I go through each reason, you might want to pause the video for 30 seconds and just think through if that reason applies to you or not. Because what's going to happen is as soon as you really understand why you're not feeling motivated, then you're going to have a much better idea of what you need to do to increase the motivation so that you do get started. Because the ultimate goal is if you want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to be more active, you want more energy, we have to figure out how to help you get motivated to get started. I find for most people, once you get started, then kind of you get the momentum going and then it's easier to maintain. And for a lot of people, it's just that getting started that can feel kind of overwhelming and daunting. So let me know in the comments first. We just type a me if you can relate to this idea of wanting to make changes but having a hard time feeling motivated to start. So just put me in the comments. I'd love to hear how many of you can relate to this idea. And then let's jump in. So the first reason why you might not be feeling motivated to start making changes. And this is kind of a tough one to hear, but it could honestly be that it's just not that important to you right now. I think for a lot of us, we feel like we should want to lose weight. We feel like we should want to eat healthier, or we should want to exercise more. But deep down, it's not really that much of a priority. And, there's no judgment with this whatsoever. Maybe you just have a lot of other things going on in life right now that takes your time and your energy. Maybe you just would rather spend your time, your energy, your money on something else in life. And so I think I wanted to start with this reason just to have you take a moment to reflect on, do you really honestly want things to be different? Is it actually important to you to lose weight, to be healthier, to exercise? And for most of you here, the answer is probably yes, which is great. And for some of you, it might be no, and that's okay too. Because, it's not about judging ourselves, judging our motivation, or anything like that. It's just about being honest with ourselves. Because if it's not that important to you, then why carry that burden any further? So take a moment and just reflect on how important is it to you really to lose weight, to feel better, to fit into your clothes, whatever your ultimate goal is. Okay, then let's move on to the other 4. So these other 4 reasons are, if it really is important to you, but you're not feeling motivated, one of these things could be happening. So reason number 2 is that you haven't gotten clear on the real reason why you want to be healthier. So, for example, for some people, you really just want to fit into your clothes better. It is so frustrating when you get up in the morning and can't find anything cute to wear, or you just don't feel comfortable in your clothes, or you just are running out of clothes that actually fit you. Maybe you're down to just 1 or 2 pairs of pants. And for some people, that is super motivating. You want to feel good in your body again. You want to look in the mirror, and what you see in the mirror reflects how you actually feel inside. And so, if that's you, that is amazing. Just get really clear on that is your motivation. You want to feel better about the way you look. And it's okay if that's your reason. Some people tell me, well, that feels kind of vain. But if that's what's motivating you, then great. But if you're also really honest with yourself, maybe for some of you, that's not a big enough motivator. Like, yeah, it would be nice to fit into a smaller size. It would be nice for the number on the scale to be lower. But is that enough to motivate you to do the work to make that happen? And for some people, the answer is no. But that doesn't mean you can't make it happen. So for you, you have to figure out, well, what is really important to you? Why is it important to you to eat healthier, to exercise, to lose some weight? Maybe it's because you just actually want to have a lot more energy because you want to travel. You want to be able to have more energy to play with your kids. You want, at the end of the day, not to just feel like sitting on the couch because you're exhausted, but you want to be doing things. You don't want to miss out on social events ever because you have as much energy as you need. Maybe that's what's motivating to you. Or I'm trying to think, there's so many other things. It could be that you see family members who have diabetes, who have heart disease, and as you get older, you know that you just really want to take care of your health because you want to age well. You want to continue as you get older to stay off medications. You want to be healthy. You want to have energy. You don't want to have to deal with a host of health issues coming up. Or maybe you're starting to see that you're kind of pre-diabetic, or you're now on blood pressure meds, and you don't want those things to get worse. So, all of those, everything from wanting to fit into your clothes to avoiding diabetes, all of those are great reasons for wanting to lose weight and to be healthier. So if you're not feeling motivated, my guess is that you aren't really, really clear. You don't have a big driving reason for wanting to make changes. So that is what I would kind of encourage you to think about. And one way I like to think about it too is think about, like, imagine you're on a path right now. And let's say you don't do anything different. You just continue on the path that you're on. You continue eating how you're eating right now. You continue exercising or not exercising, but you just continue with your current habits. Imagine a year down the road, where will you be then? And just think about, what will your life be like then? Probably things will be the same or perhaps a little worse. Maybe you'll have gained a few more pounds. Maybe your blood sugar numbers will get a little worse. Just think about, like, what's going to happen a year down the road, and then imagine your life 5 years down the road. And if you look down that path, think about, like, are you okay with that? And if not, what is motivating you to get off that path? Like, what is your reason for wanting to choose another path? How do you want your life to look in 1 year and in 5 years? And use that as a motivator. I think that can be really powerful, to think about where you're headed now and where you want to be headed. And kind of get to that heartstring reason of what's really going to make it worth it to do the work to make the changes. Okay, so that was the second reason, is that you just haven't really gotten clear with yourself on why you want to make changes. My third reason why you might be feeling unmotivated or stuck or having a hard time getting started is that maybe you have just read too much information and learned too much information about health and weight loss. What can happen here is that, you have maybe heard about keto and intermittent fasting and paleo and low carb and counting calories and, 5 different exercise programs. And so you have all these ideas floating around in your head of what you should be doing in order to lose weight, which is great to have lots of options. But it can also feel really overwhelming and really daunting when you think, okay, I need to cut out sugar, I need to drink more water, I need to start exercising, I need to eat more vegetables. You got 10 different things that you need to be doing. And you're just like, oh, especially if probably, you might not have a lot of energy right now. So if you're already tired and a little worn out and exhausted, and then you think about all these big changes you have to make, I mean, your brain is going to just be like, oh, that's too much. And it's just easier to keep doing what you're doing. And so that can be part of the lack of motivation, is just that it's so overwhelming. There's so many different things you could be doing. It seems like so much work that it's hard to feel excited or hopeful or motivated to get started. Okay, reason number 4 kind of goes along with that one, but it's that you don't know where to start. So again, you could have all these ideas of things to do, but if you don't have a clear plan of, okay, I need to do this one thing first, then again, it just feels overwhelming. It feels like it's going to be so hard and so daunting, and you don't know what the first step is. So you don't take it. You just feel stuck. So this could be like, let's say you want to cut out sugar. Well, that's a great idea, and that seems pretty clear. Okay, I'm going to cut out sugar. But as you actually think about it practically, there's all these questions that come up. For example, what about fruit? Is it okay to eat fruit or not? What about honey or maple syrup? Do I need to cut out all sugar? Can I use some natural sugars? Am I going to go 100% cold turkey, or am I just going to cut back? And so, without that clear plan, without that clear first step, your brain is just in overwhelm. And again, then you don't get started because you're not sure, you're not clear on where to get started. So that's another reason why you can kind of just not feel motivated and stay stuck. Okay, then number 5, and honestly, this is a big one. I would say this applies to probably 90% of people, and this one is fear. So if you think about it, food plays such a huge role in our lives, right? I mean, it's something you have to deal with every single day. You deal with it multiple times a day. Your social events, you're hanging out with friends, family, often revolves around food. And so to think about making changes to what you eat, to think about like all those foods that you look forward to, all the fun that happens around food, all of that can bring up feelings of fear because you're worried about what does it mean? What is it going to mean to start eating healthier? What am I going to have to give up? What am I going to be missing out on? How am I going to still be able to have fun with friends and family? How am I going to celebrate? Like what, all of these thoughts and feelings come up. And so when you think about facing all of that, again, it's scary to think about having to make those changes. And so it feels safer and it feels easier to just stay where we are. Even though where we are, we're not totally happy. There's some discomfort where we are, but there's also some discomfort with changing. And sometimes sticking with the pain that we know is easier than going towards pain that we don't know, that we aren't sure what's going to happen, what it's going to look like, what we're going to have to do. And so, I just want you to know, like, if that's where you are, if there's just some like worry about what it's going to mean to eat healthier, what you might have to do or give up or miss out on, like that's totally normal. And it's honestly why most people, and I should say, I feel like women are more successful losing weight successfully when they have support to deal with that piece of it. When they have support to figure out, okay, what is the first step? How do you break this down into manageable steps? And then how do you deal with all those fears and worries that come up? How do you figure out how to still enjoy time with friends and family and other social events and eat healthy? And so I find that most people do much better facing those challenges with somebody by your side when you're not doing it alone. So Those are the 5 reasons why you might be feeling stuck or motivated or resistant to making change. And I would really love to hear if any of those resonated with you, or if you just had any ahas as you were listening to this. Would you let me know in the comments what came up for you, what you're realizing about why you haven't gotten started making changes yet. And again, just know it is 100% normal for these things to come up when you're thinking about making big changes, like changing what you eat and changing other like health and lifestyle habits. And just know that it is 100% possible to do it successfully with the right plan, with the right support, with the right accountability. You can work through all of those fears. It is like completely possible. And once you get started, it's not nearly as hard. And I think that's what most people find is once you start making the changes, once you get started, then, you know, the ball gets rolling and it feels a little bit easier. But in all honesty, sometimes taking that first step is truly the hardest part. So I just want to invite you, if you are like resonating with some of this, if you really are wanting to feel better, to lose weight, but you just need to figure out this next piece of how to get started, then I would invite you to apply for a complimentary lose weight and keep it off breakthrough session with me. During that session, one of the things we're going to talk through is what is it that you're really wanting to accomplish and why? We're going to talk about what is your motivating reason for wanting to make changes so that you can get clear on that. And we'll look at, you know, how is it impacting your day-to-day life? Like, what are you wanting to change and why are you wanting to change and why are you stuck now? What is it that's causing you to not get started on your own? So we'll take a look at all of that and then figure out what the next step is for you. What would be a great place to get started? And if I feel like I can help you, we'll talk about that as well. If I can help you really have the support and accountability that you need to reach your goals, I would be happy to talk about that as well. So if you're interested in that call, I will put the link in the comments once I am done here. So feel free to apply for that, book a call, and I would be happy to talk with you about how we can increase your motivation and get you moving towards those health and weight loss goals that are important to you. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. I hope this was helpful, and thanks so much for watching today. Bye.